Hello to you once again. Anyone who has looked at my problem concerning Froim Simkhovich will recognize this position, and I did say at the end of that video that I'd be doing on a theme of Froim Simkhovich's problem. Well, this is going to be it. What we're going to do is we're simply going to add a pawn at a3, a black pawn. Now, as can be seen, the idea here is to stop this rook going to a3. So the question that I put at the end of that other video is it the same key move in this problem as it is in that one? Well, no, it is not, and I'll explain why it's not at the end. So what is the key move here? Can you see it? Well, the key move here is quite different. We're not going to look at sacrificing here like we did in the other one, and we're not moving the queen to the G line. We're moving it to D1. Why are we doing this? Well, in one of the variations in the previous video, we did land our queen on A4 to deliver checkmate, and this is what this is wanting to do here. Now, if there weren't a black pawn here, he could play rook A3 and cook the problem because the rook protects A4. So that's why I have put a pawn there, first of all. That doesn't give you the full answer though. So what does black have by way of reply? What is quite different here, of course, is that black can move this pawn. So he could move to here, shutting out the rook and providing himself with a flight square. So that does need to be taken into account. So let's look at this first. How does white deal with that? Well, quite simply, he plays to here, and it's double check, but it's more than that. The knight covers the flight square. Now, the king has two moves. It must move because it's in double check, and queen d4 is checkmate. Alternatively, in that position, just look at it again, he can play this way. And now you see queen a4 is checkmate because black is self-blocking with his king. The rook cannot go in the way. So that's the explanation as to what happens if he plays f5. So with this pawn here, there's no need to play anything like we did in the other video. So that's the first variation. All the other variations are with the rook except for this. So if he moves the pawn or takes the pawn, it doesn't really make any odds what he does. It looks a bit dangerous, doesn't it? So this is after queen d1, he's decided a takes b2. Is there any difference? No, there's no difference at all. All that we need to do in this position, I think, just let me have a look at this for a moment. No, it's absolutely the same, because if you play here, and he goes here, you play queen d4. If he goes here, you would ably play queen a4 checkmate. And this proves the point that if it had pushed on, it wouldn't have made any difference. No difference at all. So the addition of the pawn there makes no odds in this line, that is. So all the remaining moves are with the rook. So what about if he plays anywhere along here? Well, that's very simple. Then that's a mate in 2, isn't it? No trouble at all. That's what's so good about queen d1 to a4. This is why black must try and stop it. What about if he plays here? What do we do then? Well, what we can do here is we can just take the rook off. And then quite simply, there's no defense. If he advances the pawn, you play queen c3 and you have him. So that is over and done with. Just to note, in all these variations, it's important not to move any of these. Taking the pawn makes no odds. That's notwithstanding. Now, where else can the rook move? Well, if it moves to here this time, how do we play this? What do we do here? We can't get away with this time. Check, double check, because he plays here, and then we can't play queen d4 because the rook is preventing us. So what do we do instead? Well, what we do instead is we play this. It's as if he's put his rook on b3 and we've captured it. Because if you look at that, no matter what he does, If he puts his rook here, you can take it and it's mate. If he plays to here, no, you can't go to c3. This time you go to e3, covering e5, and that is checkmate. So that is a nice one as well. So what about if he takes the pawn? Let's look at this. What's the angle here then? After queen d1 and rook takes c5, how do we deal with this? If we play queen a4, he's going to interpose, isn't he? Well, no, he isn't. Why isn't he? Well, on the other occasion, of course, it was stalemate because his rook is pinned. That's in the other video. But in this one, he's pinned, but it's checkmate because you're able to deliver mate on queen a4. Another nice one. So what else does he have left? He's running out of rook moves. That's after queen d1. We've tried all along here, there, then there. What about queen c2? What happens here? Well, it's not a problem, and if he plays to here, it amounts to the same thing. Just imagine that you've taken it off, and really there is no defense to queen c3. He has no king move, he has to move here, and then on the next move, checkmate. I hope you enjoyed that one. It's interesting to play around with great composers, because that's what he was, works, and I hope he would have approved of this one. It is quite a different solution, and it's incredibly amazing. In the other problem, there's a tremendous amount of play, and you wouldn't think there would be, and equally there is in this, but it's a totally different series of variations. Just to put this back for a moment, I did say at the beginning that I would explain why the key move in the first problem would not work with the addition of a pawn. So that's the starting lineup in the other one, but we put a pawn on. This was the key move to stop f5. What's different about this? Well, what is different about it is in the other problem with the pawn gone, he's stuck with rook moves, but here he can advance the pawn. And quite simply, it's a whole different ball game. Equally, and it probably makes better sense to take the pawn here, because what he's doing is he's providing himself with a flight square. At the moment, the queen sack is not on because he can still interpose. But no matter what white tries to do there, look at it as much as you like, you cannot win in 3 moves altogether. It's just not possible. Because if you try such as this, he'll come back with this. And let us not forget, he now has a flight square. And that is the big difference. So a pawn can make it or break it depending on what you're trying to do. I hope you enjoyed all of that, and goodbye for now.